I would like to invite the Sangha to sit relaxingly with your back straight and have a total relaxation, entire body and mind, and you can and smile gently to offer the love to yourself first. And where are your smiles? Oh, that's right. So we first have to offer to love to ourselves so that we can relax the entire body. And next smile, we express our gratitude to our friends who we are surrounded with. We can smile with each in-breath and out-breath and sit relaxingly. And together, collectively, we can enjoy the three sounds of the bell so that our body and mind can be calming and obtaining some level of peace to restore the level of peace we need. Namo Shakyamuni Buddhaya. Dear respected teacher Thay, dear respected brothers, sisters, and our entire Sangha, I would like to ask, who's among us is here for the first time? Raise your hand, so let me see your first time being here today. Oh, not a few, it's a lot more than, I think, more than 50%. Oh, what's the wonderful thing. I would like to ask, it seems like almost everyone had practiced walking meditation. Any one of you doesn't know how to do the walking meditation? Who among us doesn't know how to walk? Not really. How to walk in such a way that we can establish peace in every step. And who among us doesn't know how to establish peace with each step? Majority of us seems to know well how to generate peace with each step. Please allow me to stand up to share with you about 5 minutes how to perform walking meditation, because if we know how to practice walking meditation, we shall have joy everywhere and whenever we walk. Dear Sangha, whenever we practice walking meditation, the important thing, firstly, we have to know how to relax and let go and relax the whole body. We all wanted to nourish ourselves with the elements, the warmest elements. If we're not skillful, we allow all the unpeaceful, all the judgments and stress take over us, so making it very stressful in the family, and our love is harder to have for the family. If we know how to walk in such a way that we can radiate and emanate that kind of peaceful energy to nourish firstly ourselves, and then next do it with nourish those we love. And with each in breath, you can walk 2 steps depending, but with each out breath, we can do 2 steps and say in, out, out. With each step we make, as long as there is relaxation and calm and ease, you will be very solid, and the steps are as solid as possible. You see, in. The more we relax, the more we are solid, and the more solidity we have with each step, more peace we will generate. So at home in the morning, especially when you have a fresh air, you just find about 10-meter square block in a corner somewhere. Just walk back and forth like this. In, and with a gentle smile. You can smile to yourself to remind yourself that you are really in touch with the Mother Earth and with the ground you are stepping on. And such energy of peace will be generated and cultivated immediately. Like this. In, out. It's superly simple, but you can have the efficacy immediately, the very effective to restore your peace and your health, such as walking meditation, sitting meditation. You see, so each time you feel unpeaceful energy, immediately walk like that, and you will obtain the level of peace immediately. Well, back in the original time of the Buddha sat quietly under the Bodhi tree. So when you are at that level of meditation, meditative state, the peaceful level is extremely high. So the Buddha really walked each step with life, full of life. So we can do that just like the Buddha. We have the capacity to do so, as long as we have the determination how to do so and how to live fully in each moment in this year of 2023. Do you really know which topic I'm gonna cover today? I intended to speak in this Dharma talk about the power of love. And it's sort of saved aside for the youth. But for those of us who are above 50, you can make use of it. And the topic on love is usually gravitated, towards the youth and the young generation, because we always at youth we always look for the object, object of our love. We love our ideal, and for monastics too, we are looking for love, but love on that path. For us to look for the path for love, and to look for each other. In this poem of Thay wrote the poem, say the Tathagata, the Buddha, is the original love and the purest kind of love. And if to see you encounter the Buddha, that's the beautiful already and encounters. So it's enough of love. So look at our lives, the mundanity. We look for love. We always grow up and looking for love, and love can empower us and make us really like ups and downs a lot. But as monastics, we look for love, and this kind of love that brings us the ultimate kind of love and kind of the ultimate beauty. And the most beautiful thing is how to help people But some of us, you see, as monastics, we love halfway and then we let go of the path. So it's not easy. So after you have searched and you have found the love that you have been searching all your life, and then still we let go of that kind of love, the most purest, the most beautiful kind of love that we have found, we still let go. Let alone those of us out there in real life, we may have have so much ups and downs, and we let go of that most ideal form of love. So today I would like to share with you how to find the way to really touch that beauty in our love from the very beginning and the middle way and at the end. And at the end of the path, and yet we still have that most ideal, beautiful form of love that we deserve the love and trust from the Buddha, you see. So how among us falling into that capacity, that area? Who among us doesn't yet know how to love, having a loving relationship, or know how to love? So majority of us know how to love and can be sure of that. Are you sure? We, as long as we can still cause suffering for ourselves and others, that means we don't know how to love yet. And if we already know how to love, then you don't need to listen to this. So I would like to ask you again, who among us don't know how to love? The doctor needs to know the patients. So the doctor needs to know the patients, what stage the patients are, their patients are in order to give the right medicine, you see. So majority of us, more than 50% of the audience right now don't know how to love. Okay, then now I know how to offer you the best way of best medicine. So who among us have the truest and the true sense of happiness while loving, while you are while you love? Please, let me see your hand. Oh, just only one. Okay, this sister is so wonderful. She knows. So majority of us sitting here in the audience are suffering because of love. Who among us have suffering, have suffer because of love, and have suffocation, suffocate because of love? Oh, how come there's so many of us suffocated because of love? And there was one young lady asked a young monastic, the bhikshu, who was handsome, just like the brother Pahor, just as handsome as brother Pahor. And this young lady asked the bhikshu, dear bhikshu, dear brother, when you become monastic, can you still have love? And this monastic, made a poem for this lady. Dear teacher, when you become monastic, can you still love? You can love, but you don't have anything holding down because of your mind is so vast, it's so immensely vast. It's like a big space, so your love can hold entire cosmos. Of course, as monastic, we can still have love, but that kind of love is boundless and is limitless and it's vast, and so it can hold everything and it doesn't hold him down. So today I would like to share with you a poem. This poem has a lot of qualities to help you establish the best foundation to maintain, to hold on to your ideal love to the end. And this poem is reserved sort of for the young non-monastic as well as monastics. Young, because if young they keep looking for love. So I made this poem. I composed in 2020 at Root Temple in Vietnam, Huế, Vietnam. I've gone through so many difficult moments and suffering moments in order to arrived at this poem. 3 years ago. Before I write it on the board, I would like to read first to all of you. The love of the monastic is reserved for all, without discrimination. not reserved for any particular one with the law, with the beauty, because that kind of beauty is tangible. The fragrance is such a truest fragrance. How we take property or some possess that beauty for one, and our love is for the boundless, and we make a vow for all beings, so that all beings have the limitless love. And our flame of mindfulness and concentration, and allow us to see the peaceful and freedom with each step, because impermanence can come any moment. So awakening can happen any moment. You don't have to wait till some grand time. So now let us go. Each stanza has 4 sentences. And this each stanza of the poem I composed. The monastic's love is for all, equally the same. He's writing it down, and I get a chance to translate a little better, clearer for you. Can you read my handwriting? The love for monastic is for all without discrimination, not reserved particularly for any individuals or beautiful ladies or with whatever, or any particular individual. And in this sentence, it has the mahong. Mahong is sort of like a pink cheek, and is a metaphor for beauty.
Sắc thân kia mong manh dễ tàn phai.
That beauty from the form is not something you can hold on. It's impermanent, and it can fade away fast.
Mùi hương lạ nào phải chân thật hương.
The unique and strange fragrance cannot be sure the truest kind of fragrance. And this is symbolic for perfume or cologne, or simply just fragrance.
Thưa đại chúng nhìn đọc có được không?
This Sangha, could you read? Can you see clearly?
Tình tu sĩ gửi trọn cho tất cả.
He's just repeating those 4 sentences.
Má hồng hay một ai. Khi mà chúng con đi xuất gia.
When we became monastics, the monks and nuns are all monastics in all across all religions. that really shows their vow, their love is, of course, already vowed to give to all equally the same, not certainly for any particular individual of their object of love. So when we walked on this monasticism, we choose this land to be our homeland, to a monastic path, and this Mother Earth is our homeland, and four seas. Across all oceans are our homes, and that wherever we are, that would be our home and our homeland. In fact, so majority of us coming to the temples and monastery, we see someone we like, monastic we like. We tend to have this possessive quality in us. We take all the means to come to make use to take that monastic to be a object of their possession. But honestly, becoming a the monastics are hard to track them down or to hold on to them, because they don't have that vow to let anyone hold them, just particularly for anyone. Majority of youth, we come to each other because we want to conquer. We use our forms, our beauty, from the women's side as well as men's side. We have this we have this tendency to attract them with our forms, like hairs, colognes, perfumes, dress, skirts, our uniforms, or all kinds of things we wanted to attract, to cause temptation. But according to the insight of our ancestors, you remember their poem about coming home, coming back to your homeland, your hometown. You don't remember, but there is a poem about it. In that poem, and someone had composed into music, "Follow you, I come back to hometown." In that poem, and in that poem, it has something. Nơi biển lâu, the place where you have the most solidity or the most bonding is the place that with deep calmness. So really peacefulness and calmness are the two qualities that allow you to have the solid relationship and the most solid relationship. So if you want to achieve that kind of solidity in the relationship, you have to cultivate enough peace and calmness the best you could. Because, with the outer forms of hairs or perfumes, colognes, and all that, is it not true fragrance? Have any of you among us not been showered for the duration of 15 days? Is there any one of us here? I know some monastics, because of this area is scarce, the scarcity of water. So some monastics may have to let go of showering for 1 or 2 weeks. So that true time, you can hear the true, you can smell the true smell. That is the true fragrance. That is the truest fragrance, you see. And the symbolically, what does it make? Does it ring the bell? Because we have this, we only love because we love and we smell the fragrance. It's all according to our perception. It's not a true sense. It's not true. So it's only through our lens of perception and expectation. So now let us move on to the next stanza of the poem.
Bây giờ chúng ta sẽ đi qua 4 câu. Trong 4 câu này nó sẽ có những
The next four sentences allow us to see the elements, the basic elements, to help us building the foundation of our strong love and solid kind of love relationship. So if you would like to possess the beauty that is not gonna fade away,
lòng từ bi rộng mở đến muôn loài.
our compassion has to be wide open to all species and all beings. It's very hard to do, but if you can do it, so if we would like to possess that kind of beauty that is not going to fade away, our compassion has to be open widely to all species.
Phát đại nguyện phụng sự cho chúng sinh.
And we have to give rise to the greatest vow to offer service for all beings.
Sẽ có được hạnh phúc không bến bờ.
Then we can be sure to obtain the boundless, limitless kind of love.
Muốn sở hữu cái đẹp không tàn hoại.
How to obtain and possess that kind of beauty that is not going to be ever destroyed and fade away. Therefore, we have this saying, the proverb saying that however beautiful the form can be, so the greatest kind of beautiful from the outer form, it certainly will be faded away, will be destroyed. It will be faded away, will not be permanent. So how to really achieve at the level of beauty, the beauty that expressed in each and every satna, every second, every minute. And when we go out and spread the Dharma, say the compassion, and we don't talk about compassion and kindness in a book. We have to make it and live, embody that compassion and kindness in our every step of our walking, our sitting, and looking at others. That is a very opportunity for us to express compassion and kindness. And most importantly is when we think about someone, how to do so in such a way that in our very thought that it can embody that kind of kindness and love and compassion. And that's when our mind is not going to be tainted with any impurities. So that's why in the original sutra from the Buddha saying that whenever from laying down, from standing up or sitting, and from walking, as long as you have the mindfulness and kindness and compassion, that is the noblest way of expressing life and love. You can be having a very a big mansion and rich in your life, but it's not gonna help. But for how to help someone to heal is the first thing we have to cultivate and embody in us is the love and the compassion. Compassion has to be open widely to all pieces. So when you know to love yourself, you care for yourself already, then you after you achieve that, you can start spreading out your love and compassion to those who are surrounding you. And then the level next is to spread out that kind of compassion and love to all beings. When I read the story about the President Lincoln, when I read of his story, his biography, I was really deeply moved. Reading about his biography, his life. In his time, there's a lot of civil wars. The southern government was defeated, and so President Lincoln needed to have a delegation of the conference to make announce to ask for permission to pause, to stop, so to avoid the death of the civilians and more, and one of the people important in the government wanted to continue the war to really put an end to all this. Because they were already defeated, so they are on the way. They wanted to win back the battle, but of course lives will be spared. But President Lincoln wanted to bring his level of compassion and kindness to confront with this, and he put an end to slavery. His love and compassion is so great. He was able to see all the people of colors as his brothers, his family. So his compassion is really vast to all species. If we have that element of compassion, that quality will bring you peace wherever you go. So in the loving relationship as well, we have to ask ourselves, do we have that quality yet? Do we have that element of compassion? And it's like our teacher Thay has said, are we able to offer happiness to others? But is that happiness from a deepest part of yours, or is it through money, through material wealth, or through foods? So how to meet each other, to encounter each other? When you come to each other, you're able to offer love and happiness and remove that suffering from your loved ones and those surrounding you. As long as you are able to remove that suffering and offer your true happiness to them, then that's wonderful. So you see. So my second sentence from this stanza is the second sentence really encompassed compassion, but the last sentence and the third sentence is the greatest vow, your deepest vow to service. So in our lifespan, could be 30, 40, 50, 60 years of life, and majority of us, each day we are coming closer to the altar, to death. And then, do you know what comes suddenly, unexpectedly, that you cannot expect? That would be the death. Death can come unexpectedly and surprisingly, and there's no way for us to prepare. So each of us has to ask for 60 years in this life, what is our greatest desire? What is our greatest need? It's not just about buying the greatest car or the diploma, achieving a degree, or buying a mansion. If that is your truest dream, that's what a saddest thing, because we don't have power to. It doesn't encompass power, the strength of life. And the greatest vow and the greatest need is to offer service to others. Nothing is as more important as building humanity. So coming to a monastery, the first thing we have to do is really to know how to build a foundation for ourselves to be solid, to be strong and concrete and peaceful enough. And then after you finish that, you can start thinking about offering for others and building Sangha, building the solidity. And so what is the most auspicious sign in the Buddha's Sutra? The most auspicious sign is to because of all humanity, nourishing the greatest love in me in order to build humanity, to bring about peace for life, for mankind, for the whole world, for the whole cosmos. And you have to really build and nourish and strengthen your love. And so if you can do that, whoever among us can do that, the greatest love that we can generate, and whoever come in contact with us, that object of our love, they will experience that kind of great love from us. So you see many of the youths, even after being born, they're being born with limits like blindness or not having the defects. All these defects they're born with. They don't have eyes. So look at ourselves. We have wonderful eyesight. We have all these greatest conditions for us to cherish and nourish. See, many of these conditions we allow ourselves to let we can possess so many wonderful happiness, moments of happiness, only if we know how to grasp it. We have to be aware of it. Then you have a happiness immediately. You see, if you give rise to this greatest vow to serve, so the minute you give rise to that mind of service or the mind of love to a person, if the loving compassion, your loving speech immediately giving to the unloving and not lovable person, but immediately in that person, they will feel loved and feel happiness immediately, because within ourselves we already generate that love for that person, unlovable. You see, many of us have this condition, this culture of paying respect and tribute to our ancestors. We have the wonderful, like Christmas, and we have Easter's. We have Visak, the birthday of the Buddha, or before, all these wonderful holidays. A day before the holidays, can you generate the mind of love and peace so ahead of time, so that on the day of the events you can kneel down to say to the deceased ones, ancestors, dear mother, dear father, with a flower, a garland of flowers, you say, I would like to offer you the garland of flower in the formless from my heart. I would like to forgive, to practice forgiveness. So, dear God, for instance, you can confess to God during the last week. In the past week, dear God, I have not given rise to the mind of hatred to anyone, even though this seems like the person is not nice to me, mean to me, but I haven't get that I haven't given rise to the mind of hatred or enmity. Like the Mother Teresa said, if you cannot have the capacity to relieve hunger for 100 people, at least you can relieve hunger and famine for one person. Who among us doesn't have that capacity to relieve hunger for one individual? Many of us can do that. So if you are able to touch the two blinded eyes of a blinded person, you can touch their eyes since they were born. They weren't able to see. If your two hands can touch their eyes of the blinded child, your love and compassion will rise immensely inside, and suddenly you will cherish all the conditions currently that you are having, like your wonderful eyesight or wonderful pair of legs and able to walk, whereas the other person was handicapped at birth and deformed. So you can see immediately love will give rise. You will love the person and with the greatest compassion. So I'm asking my brother Minden to help me erase the board so I can write the last stanza of my poem for you.
Thưa đại chúng, nhớ ngồi.
Dear Sangha, please remind yourself to relax when during sitting, and be aware which posture you are on right now. While sitting, you can smile quietly, and that is an opportunity to relax all the facial muscles and your muscles in your body. Or however much we can calm our body, however deep we can come in contact with life, and you touch life more deeply that way, as long as our body and mind are at the greatest level of calmness.
Đuốc chánh niệm ngày đêm thường tỏa sáng.
The torch of right mindfulness will be radiated out day and night.
Thấy chân tướng thanh thản chuyện đến đi.
Allowing us to see the true nature of coming and going with freedom, in freedom. So the torch of right mindfulness will shine brightly day and night, allowing us to see the true nature of coming and going in freedom. At the moment of sudden death, our mind is totally one with the right Dharma.
Tỉnh bây giờ, không đợi đến bao giờ.
We can be awakened to this truth at this very moment, right now, and not to have to wait for that realization to come at any later or given time.
Đuốc chánh niệm ngày đêm thường tỏa sáng. Tất cả cái công phu tu tập của mình.
The first sentence really is really coming down to our daily practice, getting down to the practice. And our teacher has always said, if you wanted to overcome suffering, the best way is to live mindfully at every moment of present moment, in every moment, every second, and every minute. And you help other people to relieve their suffering. So for my sentence, the first sentence is during the day and night while you're awake or while you sleep, as long as you have mindfulness. But when we practice mindfulness, you have to practice like during eating. At lunch today, we all will have this opportunity to practice eating meditation. So during the meal time, while eating, we have to know which posture we are sitting in. We have to know all the stages and the states of our mind and our body. And are we one with our food? Are we relaxed in our sitting form? Are we with the people who we are surrounded with? So if with the more mindfulness we have during eating, the more peace we will have during eating, and it gives rise to the mind of gratitude to love and to food, and to ourselves and our co-practitioners who sit next to us, and to not only that, but to all kinds of all peace species. The best thing with mindfulness practice is that it allows us to strengthen our insight and our wisdom. If you have an opportunity to read the book the Professor Nguyen Lang's, the pen name Nguyen Lang is really our teacher's name, about the history of Buddhism, Vietnam's Buddhism. And in this story, in that book, in the year 1236, and and on April 3rd at 10 p.m., you can tell the details that our teacher said this Trần Thái Tông king, the emperor, have abandoned his kingdoms and empire, palace, to become a monastic. You see, talking about the Vietnamese history, Vietnam's history, we have produced, offered the world so many wonderful emperors and many wonderful poets. And the Trần dynasty was really, even a small country, small kingdom, but it was really strong army, was able to defeat Mongolian armies and during the wartime. So Trần Thái Tông king, the emperor, had many great suffering from. He didn't really want to become the emperor of the country. That is the greatest suffering. So eventually he had to abandon in order to pursue his dream to become a monastic in high up the mountain Yên Tự. So he encountered a Zen master in Yên Tự mountain when this Trần Thái Tông king encounter in the mountain. So the Zen master named Đào Viên So this king met the Zen master, and the Zen master asked, "What have brought you here, dear king?" Trân Thanh Tông. So dear Thầy, dear Zen master, have come up here to look for the true Buddha. And then this Zen master said, "No, in the mountain we don't have the Buddha at all. The Buddha is right inside you. If you're able to calm your mind, and your insight will be born, and that insight will be the Buddha." So if, dear Honorable King, if you can do that, you'll be calming the Buddha right away. And you don't have to search for any Buddha outside of you. So if you have the opportunity to open up that book to read, because really, but the main point I wanted to tell you is the message from the Zen master to the king, was saying that as long as you have this mindful living and be present at the very moment and calm your mind, and you have mindfulness, and immediately you have the peace right away, and each morsel of food with mindfulness, you are able to calm immediately. And that's why you say your mind is really your mind and your heart are at calm. Everything will be reflected, and all species will be reflected, and that the moon will be reflected in your mind, the calmest. So while at home, you practice mindfulness and be there for the person, be there for your food at home, and don't answer the phone while you are with the person or while eating. So I have cherished many Zen masters in Vietnam. I have encountered the venerable monks were with me, but they were so high in the orders of the temples. They had many busy conversations, but they let go of their phones while they spend time with me. So with your beloved, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, or your loved ones, you have to be fully there for them at the present moment with them. So food while eating, while walking home, during those moments, turn off your phone. Don't be like this. Walking for 5 minutes, every 5 minutes you check the phone, and then return messages or answering phones. One thing is to have the mindfulness. Another thing is to really make it embody in every satna, every second, every minute. So right now, while listening to Dharma talk, you turn off your phone, right? But while at home, would you do the same? If you listen to to Dharma talks at home, you tend to check your phone, right? Look, be honest. When you are not here, you check yourself how you master your time. How do you handle your time? And the reason why we are weak, we don't have the strength to overcome our difficulties and obstacles, because we don't know how to use our time wisely and properly and appropriately. We know how to use the time, allowing us to use the time to really look to the external source, to buy things online, and to check on the news, or to check to see what our friends posted on Facebook, Instagram, or just like you just sort of spreading around. Just keep on checking quickly. Ask ourselves, is that necessary? Do we need to do that? The more we look outside, externally, the more tired we will be. And how to sit quietly and walk truly, and be with someone truly. And then you will achieve your Dharma body. You will achieve the form of relaxation and total freedom and spiritual. This beautiful outer form is not because of the handsomeness or beautiful. Is not because of our dress, but our beauty emanated because we have the freshness and the true calmness, and that is the true beauty. And the true beauty brings about the true maturity. And you will see the true nature. If we have mindfulness, we see it straight away. You don't have to. So one more thing is when you see the true nature, you got to see our true nature, our own body, our own form, to see our aging. So all of you can feel the aging process, right? So the aging comes to us, so we start seeing that we are becoming, we don't have the strength anymore. The sickness and illness are knocking on our doors, and you see the and our wrinkles. And so see that in order to give rise to the vow and the determination to practice, to cultivate what we can leave behind for our descendants. Our descendants really rely on us in every second, every minute, how we do it right now. And so for our descendants and our friends and our future generation, allow us to see we can lessen our spending purchases. And so I spent in Northern California with my friends. I see the couple with one child bought 50 pairs of shoes, and many of my friends dresses and wardrobes have about 50 dresses. And so monastics, we have the two pairs. For me, 3 pairs of short robes and 2 pairs of long robes. You see, if our body doesn't give out the smells, we don't really need 3 pairs of robes. You see, 3 robes or 3 pairs of short robes. We may only need 1. You see, so when we have the true sense of peace, our loved ones will exclaim like, "Oh, how wonderful to have met such a being with true peace and true happiness." If you can radiate that peace and happiness, so just to see the nature of impermanence and things will be faded away and dying. So suddenly we will shine light on this and allowing us to have the awareness. And to be awakened. So I went to visit my friend's mother in the morning, and suddenly in the afternoon I heard news she passed away. So in Vietnam, we both the same year we born, but my friend monk had already gone, and he came up to them. You see his picture is now on the altar. So I am at same age as him, but now I'm still alive. So I feel death knocks on our door so suddenly and so unexpectedly. So it gives rise to this mind, this question, what do we do? How do we live our life in such a way that to leave behind? So for our descendants and to bring true meaning to our life, and all the right Dharma, the right teachings are all the same across all religions, and every one of us is the same. The true teachings there. The only thing is that are we able to calm our mind and body in order to see, to have that seeing, that preventing us from having enmity of afflictions, of forgetfulness, of hatred. So the right Dharma, the right teachings is really right there if we are able to calm. Many poets and writers have the ability to see the true nature. They can conquer themselves and how to live with the humbleness and humility. And every one of us is the greatest light. Every one among us is the greatest product. And we offer life the greatest gift if we have the most suffering, but we are able to stand up. So you see among us sitting here in the audience, so who among us have gone through so many suffering moments in our life, our lives, many hatred, many devastated breakdowns. So among us who gone through so much atrocities in life like that, you can really touch the peace and greatest happiness, and then you achieve that level. We can sit calmly. We don't pay attention to the external source of material wealth or happiness. So Buddha has said to nourish the greatest love for humanity and build humanity. That's the greatest joy, the greatest happiness. And so this season in the mountain, you can see many species of flowers, so many different kinds of flowers, white color, orange colors, 10,000s, few tens of thousands of flowers. So we have the orange blossoms, yellow blossoms, or purple blossoms. In Vietnam, we have many different kinds of plum blossoms, many kinds of birds, many species. So today during lunch, you're invited after lunch to bring a cup of nice tea, a cup of tea, and find a nice creek, and listening to the pines. Looking at the clouds, the floating white clouds, and come in contact with the creeks, the streams, the birds singing, and calming your mind and body, and see the wonders of life, and feel and touch that joy and happiness right in your body and mind from all the conditions of happiness from Mother Earth, from nature, or surrounding us. Over your cup of tea after lunch today.
Thưa đại chúng, ngồi mỏi chân chưa?
Are you tired from sitting? How are your legs?
Chắc con nghĩ như vậy rồi.
Maybe I feel enough right now in that poem. You can only, if you can forget everything, at least the only 3 sentences that I would like you to sort of remember is that. So to keep those 3 sentences in your heart every moment is the torch of mindfulness shines brightly days and night, and then our compassion is greatly open for all species, and the 3rd sentence is giving rise to the vows of service, mind of service for all species. So those 3 elements, if you have, wherever you sit, wherever you go, you will be so beautiful. And when we are that beautiful, whoever we give our mind towards, or we are confronting, or we coming along with, they will feel that love and beauty, because these are the 3 elements that all the great beings, the great beings and sages have gone through, because they all encompass this great quality of great compassion. All great beings do have the great compassion. I thank dearly to all the brothers, sisters, and friends in our Fofo Sangha for listening to my sharing. I wish you the most joyful day and deeply come in contact with the wonders of life today and after. And have a wonderful day.